Hello, and welcome to tonight's stream. Yeah, it's been a second since my last one because I've been very busy and am just generally streaming less. So, for those of you that were asking, no, I'm not entirely quitting streaming. Yeah, they're gonna be a lot less frequent. I didn't mean to go a whole week without streaming last week, but it just happened. I should have opened my Ghost from the Past on stream last week, but I was too excited, so I just opened it the second I bought it because that's what I do. But yeah, here to vibe for just a little bit tonight before I got to, go to sleep so I can actually get up for work tomorrow. But if we have much interest, I might try and get some Ghosts from the Past for my next stream, but we will see. Not 100% sure what my plan is yet, but yeah. As you probably noticed, there isn't a ton on the board at the moment, but there are a couple random things on here, like a General Mills pack, because why not? Let's see, there's Sun and Moon, Burning Shadows and Evolutions. I found a couple of those packs. I was like, oh, we like those. We also have more Legendary Treasures, and another Spanish Ruby Sapphire, and of course, Kryptonation Box Topper is still there. I meant to try and find some more stuff, but then I remembered that all my sold product is mostly inaccessible, so I couldn't really go through stuff. Oh, but you know what? I do remember that I forgot. Let me hurry and check something on here. Let's see. Oh wow, this is being unhelpful. Gotta love it when stuff does not cooperate. Yes. Alright, we will just copy and paste. And we will add some brilliant stars. There we go. Okay, and we have brilliant stars on there now. And yeah, that is that. I was originally gonna move everything so it was just on one half, but then I realized that there was too much stuff and the text would get all weird and messed up. So we still have two halves. That's why some of the things are kind of weird right now, and there's lots of weird empty spaces, is because I realized right before I was gonna start that I needed to fix it, but yeah, so it's fine. Hey, it's good to see you, John. Yeah, it's been a little bit, a lot of bit. Unfortunately, I'm kind of at a point where I just am not able to stream as much just because of lack of success with streams the last couple months and things, but I'm happy that I can stream for a little bit tonight and, vibe. I do want to try to start at least doing more, stuff that I'm opening for myself on stream, because I legit opened, 5 or 6 booster boxes last week, and I didn't stream any of it. But that's just because I get too excited and just open them as soon as I can, and it takes a lot more work to get a stream going and stuff, but I should at least try to open one booster box on stream a week. I actually already opened a booster box of Magic earlier today, but I was just too excited to open it, and it was a pretty great box. I pulled something that I didn't even know that I could, which I really needed. It was super duper exciting. I pulled this Mystical Tutor. It's just it's a reprint, and it's really fancy, but yeah, I like that Magic does that, reprints from older sets in certain packs. But yeah, I needed this for really any of my decks that are blue, but especially my favorite deck. And I also got this spicy guy. He's like $35, and super duper fun to play with, only for you. Everybody else you're playing against will suffer. Yeah, we love Foreign Collects. What a guy. But yeah, so I pulled those, and that was pretty exciting. Got some other nice stuff as well. Most of it is already put away. But yeah, that was from a Caldine box. Pretty good times. But, yeah, I've just been very busy with work and TCG Player. I've been averaging like 15-ish orders a day, which, you know, keeps me pretty busy. Before I started my stream, I just finished doing like 13 orders, so I still have like 15 to go. I'm not gonna finish them all tonight, but I gotta at least get a few of them done since tomorrow I have to work, and since I have to work, I probably don't want to have a ton of orders to take care of when I get home. I mean, it's not like I mind that much, but it definitely makes more sense to not let them all pile up. But yeah, a lot of it is kind of like with the newest Yugioh set that came out last week, you know, a little bit of stimulation for sales since I added a bunch of stuff from that, but also just been putting a lot more time into TCG Player. That's kind of what I was doing most of last week, was adding like a lot of product, and it's definitely showing, and I'm planning to just continue doing that because basically at this point, like, you guys don't get to see as much of what I'm doing because most of it's like TCG Player now, but like, yeah, that's what I've really been busy with doing in terms of like my whole, you know, cardboard thing. It's been a lot more steady and stable than YouTube, and sometimes that stability is just really nice, so that's why I've been working on that a lot. Plus, if you cannot tell, my voice is like super beat for no good reason at all. I don't know. I mean, my voice has always been like fairly prone to like lose it. I used to lose it a lot during like junior high and stuff. Like I go to school and I could like just like barely whisper. It was so bad. But yeah, for fun my voice is just like quiet. But it's fine. Hey, welcome Joe. It's good to see ya. Let's see, I guess I should like actually check for orders. Let me pull these up. But yeah, definitely been keeping busy, you know. I'm playing more Magic as always. I've built, I think, one more deck since my last stream. I built my Tiny Bones deck, and I've been so excited. It all felt so nice, busy. Yeah, and I mean, a lot of it, like, depends on pricing, too, because a lot of my stuff I price higher than it typically goes for, just because these just, like, emotionally pain me, but also because I do a lot of selling in person too, so sometimes I like to just price things a little bit higher on there just so that I know that I have them, and if they just end up selling on there for more, then cool. But if I listed everything like at just what it normally goes for, I'd probably be getting like 100 orders a day, and there's no way that I could do that, so that's another reason why everything is listed a little bit high. I've got like 8,000 to 9,000 cards listed on there, so yeah, it's a lot. But I'm hoping to get to the point where I will have like the time to, you know, list a good 40 to 50 cards a day at least, you know, sometimes maybe more, and then, you know, like actually ship out 25 to 30 orders a day, because I know that I can do that many in a day because I have before, but I just want it to be a little bit more of a consistency thing and not so much like, oh no, I forgot to do any orders yesterday and I got a bunch yesterday and today, so now I have a whole bunch to do. Just working on, you know, getting towards where it's just like always lots. I mean, really, like, I almost always get at least 8 to 10 orders, but I need to bring that average up, which is, it has been pretty decent the last few days, but it's starting to kind of decline, so I'm like, alright, I need to go list a whole bunch more stuff, which I've been adding like some more of the Korean Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. Look, I have another fancy Starlight. This one I probably am not going to sell on TCG Player because I have someone else interested in it, but you know, fun stuff. Gotta enjoy the Starlights. Hey, I'm super glad that I could help, and that's fun. I myself could never imagine, like, hiring an employee. I've got trust issues, but, like, you know, hey, this sounds pretty great to me. Got a little, like, family business started. Yeah, I'm really glad that I could help. It definitely has a lot to it, but once you kind of get it figured out, it's not really all that bad. I, uh, I mean, I got it figured out pretty quickly. There were a couple things that took me a long time to figure out they even existed and stuff, like learning about all the pricing tools and whatnot, but really those are just like extras. But what's really exciting is when you finally become a level 4 seller, because that just, changes the whole game. And that was pretty exciting for me. I think it was like, oh, it's so long ago. That was like back in January or February. It's kind of crazy how long I've been running my store now, because now it's May. So it's been just under 4 months since I started selling on TCG Player. I actually remember my first order. it was kind of funny. So, this one card shop that I've been a regular to for the past couple years, I was there and I was just chatting with like the cashier while I was picking out what I wanted to buy. And I happened to mention something about how I was starting a TCG Player store, and they were like really interested in that. They're asking me questions and stuff, and they're like, "Oh, do you happen to have this card from Celebrations? I need it to finish my collection." And I was like, yes, I do. Like, they had asked if I had listed on TCG Player, and I was like, well, yes, I do have one, but it's not on TCG Player. But you know what? I need to get a first order on TCG Player so I can start showing as someone with more than 0 sales. So I was like, I will list it when I get home. I helped the guy find my TCG Player store, and I'm like, just go here and refresh it in like an hour or two. I'll get it on there. And so, I went and I put it on after I got home, and then he purchased it through TCG Player. And instead of like just shipping it to him, I actually just like brought it to the place he worked and like handed it to him. But yeah, that was my first TCG Player purchase, and I don't know, it's just kind of funny to me, but it worked out. I got my first sale, and now think I'm around like 900 sales, 8 to 900. I should check what I'm at right now. Look at my store. So like, I don't know how to just like see my stats on my own page, so whenever I want to know, I just like pull up a listing of something I have and find my name and look, next to it where it says how many sales. Oh, and I'm so proud of the fact that I'm like 100% gold star seller. Let's see, I'm at 906 sales. That is a lot of sales. Like, holy smokes. So crazy to me, like, wild. I'm really excited to like hit the 1,000 mark. I'm hoping to hit it like ideally within 2-ish weeks. But if I'm able to like increase my output like I really wanted to, I'm hoping maybe it'll be like by the end of this week, cause I mean that's just like 94 more sales. Just 94. It's like kind of a lot. But yeah, it's pretty exciting. Hey, welcome, Polk County Box Breaks. I don't know what I've ever seen in my chat before, but it's very nice to have you join and your fancy check mark, because I now know what check marks are. I mean, I've known for like a long time now, but I will just never forget that the first time somebody with a check mark showed up in my chat, I was just like, what's the check mark for? What does that mean? I was so confused, but that was pretty great. Like, it was good times. Man, that was wild back when Pat Flynn used to like just show up every now and then. That'd be cool if he still did. I wonder if he's still doing Pokemon stuff. I don't know. I don't really watch that much YouTube. Like, here I am, a YouTuber, but I don't necessarily watch a ton of YouTube. But that's usually because I am buying and opening cards and then selling cards and playing with cards and building decks with my cards, and it's just all cardboard. My whole life is all about the cardboard, and I like it that way because I kind of enjoy cardboard. I earlier I was going to buy a magic booster box, and we were just like gonna meet up at Walmart, but it was after dinner, so I was like, alright, I'm heading out to go meet up with someone at Walmart. It's just, my parents are like, that's meet up with someone at Walmart? I'm like, yes, to buy cardboard. And they're like, that sounds about right. I'm like, yep, you know me. Just going to buy cardboard. And I opened my box. It was great. It was good times. Do you buy a lot of sealed products in local stores? Sealed product, I tried to buy the majority of it locally. I actually work at a local card shop, and I adore it there. So whenever I can, I usually will purchase things there first. Secondly, at the other local shops. The only time I order online is if it's from like one of a couple places that I really trust, and it's either got like a significantly better price than local, or it's just something I can't get locally. Like, I actually buy a lot of my Magic the Gathering boxes off of Amazon using my mom's Prime, because a lot of the things will have like same day shipping on there, and it's great, and they're not usually things that I can get locally, like Jumpstart. I have bought so many Jumpstart booster boxes on Amazon, it's kind of ridiculous. Like, if I just like scroll through how many times I purchased Jumpstart boxes on there, because I bought out all of the Jumpstart locally, and then I was like, oh, okay, well, now I must find it elsewhere. And then there's like one online store that I used to buy like Pokemon stuff from, but I don't really anymore as much. Their prices are never necessarily great, but it kind of just like at times it was kind of a nice way to get stuff. Purchased 12 times. I have purchased 12 Jumpstart booster boxes on Amazon. And then I've also bought like I think one or two locally. So I have opened a lot of that. But yeah, generally I prefer to support local stores because, you know, I feel like they need it a lot more than Jeff Bezos and his army or whatever, however that works. But yeah. And I mean, plus I kind of work at one, so I'm a little bit partial. I love it so much. It's like the best job. I just get to vibe with cardboard. Of course, I do also have to talk to customers, but usually we just talk about cardboard, so it's okay. It's good. Sometimes they're Yu-Gi-Oh players though, and I mean, it's not that all Yu-Gi-Oh players are bad. It's just kind of like an inside joke almost where I work, that we just tease the Yu-Gi-Oh players constantly, which is like extra funny because it's like my manager is like in charge of like teasing and making fun of the Yu-Gi-Oh players, but he actually plays Yu-Gi-Oh now, and I don't know, it's so funny to me, but it's pretty entertaining. I do like really enjoy opening Yu-Gi-Oh, but I prefer the Korean Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, which is another one of the things that I usually buy on Amazon, which it's usually fine, but I have run into resealed stuff at least once or twice. Which, I mean, it's not like they even tried to reseal it. I got a box earlier this week, and I was so excited for it, and it was already arriving a couple days late, so I was just like, I'm just ready for this to come. And then I open the box, and the first thing I see is just this, like, ripped in half, like, almost empty pack. And I'm just like, okay, I guess we're returning this. I was pretty sad, but it's okay. I'll survive. Hey, welcome, Yami. Thank you for the sub. It was great to have you. And yes, I have an extremely large sealed collection. I've been moving a lot of my sealed collection around and stuff. Like, it used to all be in the top of my closet. Now it's almost entirely stored under my bed. And as I was going through it, I was, like, valuing some of it. And I think in ETBs alone, like, just the ETBs that I have, it's at least $4,000 worth of ETBs. I'm like, wow, I've got issues. And I mean, that's like including, that's like not their MSRP. If I was going based off of like what all the ETBs I own originally went for like MSRP, it'd be a lot lower, but because I've got like a bunch of like Hidden Fates, Champions Path, and then, you know, lots of regular stuff too, it makes it worth a lot. But so yeah, I have just ETBs, thousands of dollars worth of ETBs, and I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing with these, but it's really fun. I enjoy them. I've got tons of collection boxes. I prefer to, like, in my sealed collection, keep collection boxes and ETBs. That's why I have so many of them, because those are my favorite ones to just keep sealed. I mean, I also have, like, some really random, like, exciting, spicy packs. Like, I have a base set pack that was actually a gift, and I don't know if I'll ever be able to open it, because it's so cool. So then I have, like, some packs of some of my favorite sets that I keep for myself. I mean, like, Legendary Treasures, I've got an extra pack, so that's why there's one on the board. But I also have, like, my personal one that's like, this is for me. So, yeah, lots and lots and lots of sealed product. I don't really keep any, like, Pokemon is really the only sealed product that I keep. I have maybe, like, 5 special packs of Magic the Gathering that I'm trying to convince myself to keep sealed. But usually, like, kind of the idea there is if I'm really bored and I don't have any Magic packs to open, like, I can't afford a box, I'll just go open one of the ones in my little stash, and it's great. See, another Japanese set. Ooh, yes! I saw, like, the box and stuff for it, and it looks so neat. I'm like, well, more things that I need to not spend my money on, because Astral Radiance, I'm going to be spending a lot on that in a couple of weeks. Actually, no, this weekend, the pre-release for Astral Radiance is legit in like 4 to 5 days. That's kind of like tripping me out. This is actually going to be the first Pokemon pre-release event that I'm ever going to get to help run or like witness at all, since Pokemon is finally bringing pre-release events back after, you know, COVID and all of that. So I'm really excited because, you know, we're going to get to run one on Saturday. And so that also means that we're going to have pre-release kits, and so I get to buy a bunch. So I probably will stream on Saturday when I get those, unless I get them on Friday. Unless I end up going out and playing Magic until 1 in the morning, which is usually what I do on Saturdays, but we'll see what happens. I'm excited. There's some really, really neat stuff that's going to be in Astral Radiance. I wonder if they've, like, released a full set list or anything yet. Let's see, Astral Radiance. See, I think it's just the sealed product is all that's showing up on TCG Player still. All these boxes are gorgeous. The promo cards! There's a cute little Toxel. Oh, I love it. And another Eevee. Amazing. Oh. There's some weird stuff in this set, not gonna lie. But there's also some just absolutely fantastic stuff that I'm really excited for. Serious players, but the cards... are you talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Magic? That's what I've noticed. Like, so Pokemon is really cheap to, like, build a good deck. Like, a lot of, like, the meta decks or whatever are, like, under $50. They can be as low as, like, 20, you know? And then, Magic decks, a good deck is going to be between, like, 6 and 12,000? Not 12,000. 6 and 1,200? So it's a lot more. Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't play Yu-Gi-Oh! So I don't know, but I know that there are a lot of really expensive cards, and I've heard from people that play that Yu-Gi-Oh! Is largely pay to win. You buy the big, good, expensive deck, you will probably win with the big, good, expensive deck. See their base? Can you get rare staff release promo cards? Oh my gosh, if I get staff pre-release stuff, that would be the, like, absolute coolest thing. I don't even know how I would be able to, like, process how cool that would be, because I do own some staff pre-release cards, but those have all been things I bought. But now that I'm technically, like, gonna get to be staff at events, that would be so neat. And now I don't really know how it all works, but I guess I'm gonna get to find out, which is kind of wild. Though honestly, I feel like I would have heard about it more if we were going to get like the staff pre-release promos, so I honestly don't know, but just the fact that that is at some point potentially a possibility is incredibly thrilling. See, do you know the price for the kits yet? So I do not, and I don't know how many I'll be able to get, but I can definitely make sure to save some for you and let you know once I do have them, slash, like, what they'll cost. But yeah, I should have those by Friday or Saturday. There's a small chance, a small one, that I won't be able to get more than one pre-release kit, because in the past I've been able to get a lot of pre-release stuff because we haven't been running events. You know, Pokemon didn't open them back up, so it's kind of just like people could come in and buy them. But since we'll have events going on, chances are we'll sell a lot more pre-release kits than we usually do. So I do not know if I will be allowed to buy as much as I usually do. But we will see. We will hope for the best. And either way, I should at least have some to open this weekend. And I don't know. It's going to be so cool. Yeah, Magic is absurdly, and I mean absurdly expensive. But I just love it so much. A little bit, a lot addicted. I mean, like, where did I put my cards that I was showing you earlier that I pulled today? Like, these are both going into... I know what deck I want to put, I think, both of these into. Because this one's going to go in my mill deck, which is my second deck, and it's, like, my favorite deck. And then this is either going to go in my Big Green Boys deck or my Token Spam deck. But, like, this, it's like a $35 card. Pretty nice, you know? This is like a $20 card. Pretty great. But, there's some way more expensive cards in those decks. I actually don't know if I have any... I think my most expensive card in my first deck I ever built is probably like a $60 card. But there are a lot, and I mean a lot, of $10 to $20 cards in there. And these are 100 card commander decks, so it adds up. You know what's crazy? It's even crazier. I've heard that apparently, like, standard decks, which are, like, 60 plus cards, are generally, like, significantly more expensive than commander decks that are 100 cards. And I was just like, okay, interesting. Of course you can make commander decks that are way more expensive, but, like, on average, it's kind of wild. Let's see... Pokemon's to collect. Really? Yeah, I feel like Pokemon definitely... The money is all, like, in collecting for Pokemon. Of course, here and there, there'll be, like, an $11 to $12 card because it's more playable than the rest. But that's so different from Magic. Magic, if there's a card that is legitimately playable from a recent set, it's going to be, like, $50 plus, not, like, 10. It's so different. I mean, similarly with Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, there's one card from a set that came out in, like, December that I think it was around, like, $80 for a really long time. And then it shot up and it's, like, $120 now because it's really playable. It's just wild. It's so wild. Extra staff cards. I mean, I will get every single staff card I physically possibly can if I get a chance to, but I doubt that would be more than one. But we'll see. Just the idea that, like, that might be something. The only thing I don't really know, though, is, like, are the staff pre-release promos more for, like, judging, like, regionals and stuff? Or is it like, for just running pre-release events? Like, I do not know much in that sense, because I've never really run that many Pokemon events to begin with, because... So we do Pokemon every week. We have since I started working there. But there aren't, like, official events. They don't, like, get recorded in the Pokemon system until a couple weeks ago. Pokemon finally started opening back up their official events, you know, after COVID. It took them way too long to get them back open. Like, I don't know why it took this long. But they came out with a new system for it, and they're like, all right, you guys can do it again. And so now I'm just barely starting to get into that, like, running official Pokemon events thing. So I haven't experienced it a ton, you know. I've just set up the stuff and like inserted the information about who wins and whatnot, and that is about it as of yet. But yeah, should, you know, learn more about how that works soon, and I'm super excited about it because, like, I don't know, that's just kind of cool to get to be running like official Pokemon events, because like I said, we've been running official Yu-Gi-Oh and Magic sets since as long as I've worked here, and who knows how much long before that. I don't know when theirs started back up. As far as I can tell, it wasn't that long before I started working. But because like one of my coworkers has been working here for like 2 years, when I was going through my training, my manager was also teaching him how to use like the Yu-Gi-Oh software, so that's why I'm assuming it wasn't like that long before I started working there that it came back and stuff. But yeah, so Pokemon now has their official stuff, and so I will get to learn how all of those go. And I mean, I know with some like the Yu-Gi-Oh events and stuff, they'll send like gifts and stuff for the people that are like actually judges for the event, because, you know, you gotta have judges, because every once in a while people are like, is that how that actually works? And then, you know, there's questions and stuff. But I'm not qualified to be a Yu-Gi-Oh judge because I don't even play Yu-Gi-Oh. I don't know how the game works well enough to. So I don't know if it's going to be similar with Pokemon, but I would guess to at least some extent that'd be the case, because in order to judge, you need to have a good grasp upon the game. And I mean, part of that could just be as simple as getting really familiar with like the rule book and whatnot, but that's going to take time, and who knows. But so yeah, I don't know how much of it's just simply being there running the event could get you special stuff, and how much of it is like, you know, judging the event, being like intricately involved with like the actual match and stuff. Like, I don't know. I guess I will find that out as we go. Like I said, this is my first pre-release that I'll experience it all. I get to experience it, you know, as one of the people running it, and it should be cool. I mean, I got to participate in my first Magic pre-release event with New Capenna, and that was very fun, very exciting, except for the part where I had terrible cards from my little pre-release box. It was rough, but I did win like one game, so I didn't completely fail. But it was also really fun, and that's really what, you know, I was most worried about. And I did pull a couple cards that I came to really like that I ended up being like, oh yeah, I'm gonna use these in decks, because they're good stuff. Let's see if you can get me 2, I'll pay top dollar. Alright, if I can get more than 1. So, let's see. So my first one will probably be for myself, because I really am excited for Astral Radiance, like I am for any Pokemon set. The second one, I can reserve for Yugioh. If I can get a third one, that one I would want to give other people chances first, but if I get a fourth one, then I can reserve 2 for you. That'll probably be like how I'll allocate it, but it really just depends. I won't know how much I'm gonna be able to get until, you know, we actually have it, and I like go up to my boss and I'm like, so the question is, how much are you gonna let me buy? So we'll see how that goes, but I'm excited. I can't believe we're this close to Astral Radiance. Like, I know it's been forever since Brilliant Stars, but because of all the pre-releases with other TCGs and stuff lately, or just like releases in general, I feel like we're just doing so many things. Like, I mean, New Capenna was not that long ago, it was just a few weeks ago. Then a new Yu-Gi-Oh set came out last week, and then the pre-release stuff is now starting for the new Pokemon set, and then like next week another Yu-Gi-Oh set is coming out, and then like the week after that is when Astral Radiance officially comes out, and it's just wild. How much extra money do you make average TCG player? So I try not to disclose like personal finance information much, but kind of how I usually explain it is basically it's just a break-even thing. I'm not getting extra income in terms of money. All of it just goes right back into cards, so it's just a break-even thing. Like, there's not really like an extra, you know, cash bonus for me. I mean, I do end up with extra cards, like, because everything I sell on there, I use the money to buy more boxes that I open, and then I keep the cards that I want from the box and then sell everything else on there, so, you know, I can get more money. It's just this ever-going circle. but I do just end up with a lot of additional cards, like these 2 cards I showed you here. These were with a box that I used my TCG player money to buy. Everything else from the box, other than like, you know, just a little handful of other cards that I wanted to keep, went right on TCG player. But these ones, which is like $50 to $60 worth of cards actually, is what I'm keeping. So all of it ends up, you know, being cardboard cardboard increase, not really any, you know, like monetary. It just goes back to the cardboard. Mr. Rambling. I will not. I am not interested in just doing regular videos because I do not enjoy that as much as I enjoy, you know, having people in chat and just being able to vibe. I do occasionally like to / want to post some of my like sillier videos that, you know, I mean, if y'all have seen my first posted video, y'all know. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But in terms of like actually opening product, it's basically just only gonna be live stream because I feel like it's so much more fun to be able to interact with my audience live, and when I get distracted, it's not like as big of a deal because like, I mean, I guess like in a regular video, if I get distracted, I can just like cut it out. But I hate video editing. I mean, I guess it's not that I hate it. It just takes a long time, and I don't have the time to sit down and film the video and then edit. But I do have the time to sit down for like an hour and just turn on the camera and stream. Turn on the cameras. I have so many cameras. Right now I have 2 cameras pointing at my face, one on my desk, one at the trash can. And I feel like I also have another camera somewhere else, but I'm not even sure. But yes, I have a lot of cameras. It's quite many. Give me the price. Yeah. I will let you know as soon as I have more information. No, there'll be a Lego video eventually. Okay, but so as I was cleaning my room last week, because I still had to do a lot of cleaning last week. It was terrible. I spent like all day Monday, like literally all day, just cleaning and organizing stuff. It was rough. But while I was doing that, I found a notebook that was just like titled The Lego World, and I was just like, this is what I have been looking for. And unfortunately, it was not one of the older notebooks or anything that I had kept. This one was only from like maybe a year-ish before we disbanded our Lego room. Which, by the way, oh my gosh, I can't believe I forgot to tell you this. We're bringing back the Lego room, except it's also in my craft room. So now my craft room is also a Lego room. And it's something. It's exciting to say we have a Lego room again. It's not convenient because it took a lot of my personal space for doing things like crafts, nails, etc. But the Legos do have place to be displayed again once I move all of my extra stuff out of there. But yeah, we're bringing the Lego room back. I have very, very, very mixed feelings about it. Like, it's half like this is so exciting. This is amazing. I absolutely love that I can tell people I have a Lego room again. But the fact that it was instead of the 2-room, basically like TV game room that literally 99% of the time only my dad goes into, instead of using one of those 2 rooms, instead it was like all the area in the room that was already also a storage room and also my craft area. So I'm you know, so yeah, that's that. So it's very, very, very mixed feelings on my part. Very. But Legos are good. Anyways, original point. I found that notebook with some random stuff about the Legos, and instantly I thought, I was like, dude, I need to make those Lego videos. and I have zero idea when I'll actually do them, but they are on the agenda. The only problem is there is about 20 years worth of activities already on the agenda. But we will see if I can somehow fit it a little bit earlier on the agenda than certain other things. But it's on there. It's on there. But there's also enough stuff to keep me busy for longer than I've already been alive. But it is on there. So, yes. Did Pokemon do away with staff cards after Vivid Voltage? So the reason that they stopped doing staff cards after Vivid Voltage was because after Vivid Voltage, COVID shut everything down. So they weren't doing any events where there would be staff that they needed to reward with the staff promos. There was literally no reason for them to exist because all events were canceled and, stopped. There was some interesting stuff going on during the time that Chilling Reign came out with apparently like some misprint staff cards. At least 2 people reported like pooling Cinderace pre-release promos with the staff stamp on it. Nothing that was like recorded on video or anything, so there's no like 100% sure this is like real, but there were reports of that. Anyways, that's besides the point. But yeah, as far as I can assume, it would make sense for them to bring back the staff promos now that they're bringing back events, but of course because it's been 2 years since they got rid of things, who knows if they'll do them the same. They might come up with a different way to reward staff members, and they might just bring staff promos back like exactly what they were. It's kind of just a matter of we will find out, I guess, since, like I said, it's been like a couple weeks since they started doing official Pokemon events again, so it's kind of just a matter of time. In my opinion, I do think that they'll be bringing back the staff promos. I just have no like information from official sources or like guarantees that that's 100% happening and they're 100% going to be the same. That I can't say, but in my personal opinion, I do think that they will be back. There was a Lego room. Yes, me and my siblings have loved Legos for so long. Like ever since I was probably 5 or 6, me and my older brother would just spend hours a day playing with our Lego world, and eventually, at some point, it became us having a whole room in our house dedicated to Legos. Of course, it was never like 100% Legos. Usually there was like part of the rooms that were for storage and stuff too, but that's how it goes in a family with 6 people. You need a room for other stuff. But yeah, we had an entire Lego world that had been founded by Lego Indiana Jones, so the country that they lived in was called Indy Foundations. It was pretty great. But yes, we did have a Lego room, and it moved like 3 times. I think it was 3 times before my parents got rid of it. That was the worst thing to wake up through on a day that I wanted to sleep in. I was just sleeping peacefully, blissfully. And then my parents come in and they're like, we're getting rid of the Lego room. You need to move your stuff. I'm like, excuse you, what? No. I was so mad the whole day. I just like quietly like walked around like back and forth putting my Legos away. It was not fun. But yeah, now we're reviving the Lego room just a little bit. It definitely won't ever be the same though, since my siblings and I, we stopped playing with our Lego world. My older brother was like in charge of it since, he was the older brother, and kind of he was also the person that owned the original Lego Indiana Jones that we had that like founded the whole country and stuff. But yeah, so since he doesn't really have much of an interest in Legos anymore, it definitely will never be the same. Now at this point it's really just more for display and building stuff, but who knows, anything is possible. Plus I could probably use it as like a way to display, like take pictures or videos or something for when I start doing my series on the Lego world. But yes, hey, it was great having you, John. I hope you sleep well, and yes, I will let you know about the pre-release as soon as I can. And welcome, Pyro. Yes, a lot has changed in the last about month-ish, maybe longer, I don't know. You ever noticed I have like streamed maybe 4-ish times since the start of April. And there's been a variety of factors that have gone into that. It has been a little bit messy. And yes, well, no, the board is also pretty empty. But I will tell you guys the story that it kind of is why things have been on the decline in terms of my channel. So, first things first, I'm sure at least some of you have noticed that activity on my streams have gone down significantly. There was a big decline, like last fall. I started, my viewers were going down, sales were going down, and it just kind of, everything was just kind of starting to go down. About January, it just like flatlined. It was so hard to get any interaction on streams. I wasn't selling packs, I couldn't buy new packs. And so during January, that's when I started doing TCG Player, kind of as a like, okay, YouTube, I'm not really getting anywhere right now with it, and I can't do what I love on there because I don't have the audience at the moment. I really don't know what happened. That like my audience just mostly disappeared. And so it was a struggle getting through like January, February, March. I was still trying to stream, 4 to 5 times a week, but I was seeing nothing from it. Like, since January, I have gained under, I think, 30 subscribers. Like, it has been pretty bad. Growth has been like 0, even when I was streaming almost every day. And so at that point, I was just kind of like, okay, so clearly this isn't really working, but my plan was to just kind of continue with it, maybe just stream a little bit less. But then, one day, after work, it was like 10 o'clock at night, I got home, and my mom's like, so, we've got a problem. I'm like, a problem, you say? And that problem had to do with what was back here. Essentially, I used to have like this, there was this dresser with like all these shelves stacked on top of it. Well, when I went into my room that night, all the shelves were going like that. It was bad, and basically, I had to spend the next 7 hours, and mind you, it was 10 o'clock at night, and I spent the next 7 hours beginning at 10 o'clock at night. So, until 5 a.m. that night, I was working on moving everything off of back there and moving the shelves off so that the dresser didn't collapse. That was not fun. But at that point, I had no setup for my YouTube. That's where I kept all my packs. That's where I kept, like, everything. So I didn't have that. And that kind of stopped me. I then talked to my dad about building me some custom shelves. That's what's here now. And I was hoping it would be done, within a few days. And he did get it done pretty fast. And by the time I had the new shelves up, it had been about a week. And so I was able to do, like, a quick small stream. It was, like, 2 weeks ago. And so, I did my small stream, and everybody was happy that I was back, and that was cool. And then these shelves were still mostly empty, and all of the stuff that I took off them had to go somewhere. The problem is I already didn't have enough storage space, including back there. So everything was just shoved in my closet. None of it was accessible. I couldn't get to most of my packs. I still don't know where a lot of stuff is after moving it. A lot of it in there, a bunch of it went into the other room that's now a craft/Lego room/storage room. So there's still a lot of stuff in there. Some of it I've been working on bringing back and putting in here. The thing is with these shelves, they're built primarily to be helpful for my TCG Player stuff. You can see over here I've got all these big white boxes. Those are full of my TCG Player cards. But these shelves also have significantly less storage, and they cannot support as much weight, because just in general, the shelves I used to have shouldn't have had as much weight on them as they did. So these shelves are holding maybe like 20% of what I used to have back here. So after that, I was already really busy with work. And I also, another thing that has impacted stuff a lot is that I started playing Magic the Gathering. And so now every Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday night after work or whatever I have going on, I usually go and play Commander till like 12 to 1 a.m. and that's usually a time when I would be streaming in the past, but so now those 3 nights are reserved for Commander because it is literally like the only, it's my social life, is work, which is cards, and playing Commander, which is also cards. Like that's about it. But I love my group that I get to play Commander with, and I think it's been nice for me to kind of just like actually have like a social thing to go and do. So yeah, that has been the reason those 3 nights specifically are not ones that I really stream on or can stream. I mean, it's not like we play every single Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, but those are usually we will, because Wednesday night is when we do Commander at the place I work. My boss usually lets me have the night off so that I can play in our Commander stuff, and then after that we all go to this one guy's house and then we play more Commander. And then the same thing with Friday, that's also when we have Commander, but I have to work on Fridays, so I'm running stuff then. So then after work I always want to play. And then Saturdays, I usually like close on Saturdays. Sometimes I open though. If I open, I just end up like hanging out there the whole day though, so that afterwards I can go play Commander, because the place that we play Commander is like 2 to 3 minutes away from my work, and it's in between where I live and where I work. The problem is if I go home, I'm going to have to drive back to the city that I work in to go to the place where we play, and gas money is an absolute joke right now, and so that would cost me like $3 to $4 for that extra trip. So, yeah, that is a no-go. But so yeah, usually we play Saturday night too, just because like everybody's free with it being the weekend, and so yeah, those 3 nights I play Commander. But yeah, so that of course has been a little bit of what has, made me more busy at night and stuff, and then all of this happened, and then last week I decided usually I work 5 days a week. Last week I ended up only working 4 though, because I spent the entire day on Monday moving all of my like sealed product that was in the top of my closet under my bed so that I could pull out, because these white boxes were under my bed like in the far corner, and it was kind of difficult to access and whatnot. But so I had to move everything out from under my bed. I had to move a bunch of boxes from my closet under my bed, and then everything else that I wanted to go under my bed back under my bed, and then I had to sort a bunch of stuff onto these shelves, and it was exhausting. That was literally all I did on Monday, and that was kind of difficult because my original plan for Monday was to work on TCG Player all day, and so that did not happen. So I spent the rest of the week working in between, like going to work and stuff, working on my TCG Player stuff. So that's where I was most of last week, was doing TCG Player. But yeah, I still have so much work that needs to be done in terms of moving stuff back into my room, except that there's not space for it, so I don't know where it's going to go. Yeah, don't know how that's gonna work out, but I'm also like still missing my lights that I used to have back there, my colored lights. I miss them, but they're kind of ruined, so I don't know if I'll be getting those back at all, but hopefully maybe somehow I'll get them back and on here, but at the moment, I don't know. But yeah, so I was just incredibly busy mostly with TCG Player last week because, like I said, my channel's been on a decline the last, several months, and it just really has just been rough since January. So that's why I've been investing so much more time and effort into TCG Player, and that's what I worked on all of last week, kind of setting myself up for last month was a down month for both YouTube and TCG Player. Like, everything just kind of dipped because, I was dealing with all of this. I had lots of stuff going on for work, and so yeah, I just did not have a ton of time, like, at all for those things. But so this month, that's why I kind of just took the first week to just work on my TCG Player, and now this week I'm going to try to do at least a little bit of streams. I still need to like get some Ghosts from the Past 2 for stream, because I just opened that all up off camera because I was too excited. Then Astral Radiance I should have by this weekend, don't know how much, we'll see. But yeah, so that's pretty exciting too. But I can't promise I'll be doing more than like 1 to 2 streams a week from now on, because honestly, when I do like one stream a week, it does a lot better than when I stream every day. Because when I was streaming every day, most of the time I would sit like at 4 to 6 viewers. And right now it's been like a week and a half since my last stream, and I've been sitting around like 8 to 12. So I'm like, that's already like twice as good. But I mean, and it's not like the view count is all I care about and whatnot. Ultimately, it just comes down to, it's hard to feel motivated to keep doing my streaming every day when only about 10% of the time people are actually there to enjoy it. Because ultimately, streaming for me, I want to enjoy it, but I also, want people to actually be enjoying it too. So it kind of just, ultimately, my decision is that focusing on streaming isn't working out for me, the channel, or the viewers. So it's gonna kind of be a little bit more of a secondary thing. When I started doing TCG Player was the secondary thing. At this point, I'm kind of switching to TCG Player being the first and foremost, and YouTube being my kind of backup thing, which I still intend to like keep a presence and continue doing fun things and interacting with you all. It just won't be to the extent that I've been trying to do, because ultimately the extent that I've been trying to do hasn't been met, if that makes any sense. Like, the level of interaction that I was trying to keep up was not being returned after several months. So it kind of just got to the point where I'm like, okay, I guess this just not quite working. Yeah, I mean, it's been difficult to come to terms with, but I just have hit a wall that whatever I do, there's just no growth. Like, I've gained very, very little subscribers in the last, like, 8-ish months. Kind of after, like, school started back up. Everything just got really rough, and then 2022, the channel's done nothing but, like, get slower and slower, and so I'm just not gonna overexert myself on something that isn't getting anywhere. So I'm just gonna, enjoy my channel a little bit where I can and when I can, but I'm just to a point where it doesn't make sense to have it be my main focus, because it's a waste of my energy, time, and motivation, but it's still something I care about, so that's why I'm not going to drop it entirely. Okay, so this is not Pokemon Tops. The Cryptonation Box Topper 2nd Edition, it is MetaZoo. I've got it right over here. Maybe. Where did I put it? Here it is. Yeah, it is a MetaZoo box topper. Essentially, there's like a special list of like, I would like consider them almost like promo cards that you can pull from there. They're all foil, and there's this chance that you'll pull this like hyper rare one that's worth like thousands of dollars. It's kind of wild. I should pull up the list. Let's see, we got Cryptid Nation Box Topper 2nd Edition. And we will see. Oh no! I thought I was going to desktop view. Instead, I got desk view. There's desktop. But yeah, so it's got a bunch of different, holofoils. They're like decent, but this is the one that you want to get because it's worth a lot of money. I've looked at like sales and stuff on eBay, and I think they're around like the $5,000 to $6,000 range. But yeah, there's a very, very rare chance that you'll pull one of these in those, and that's kind of where the main value comes from. Pretty cool stuff. But yes, that is the box topper pack. Not Pokemon, but in my opinion, pretty cool. Alright, now time to go back to the regular scene. And I guess I should just peek just in case we got any orders, because I just feel bad when I do not notice those. PayPal and Venmo are like, we logged you out. You have left us. Poor PayPal and Venmo. Alright, yes. It doesn't look like we've got orders, so it is good. I haven't accidentally ignored any money. I mean, usually, like when I go on talking too long and don't notice orders, people just mention in the chat, but sometimes they don't, and then I feel bad, but we're good. But yeah, on that note, I probably am gonna wrap up soon since I'm so tired. Like, I've been so very busy, and I still have so much that I need to work on, but nothing is going to get done tomorrow, or tonight for that matter. But nothing's gonna get done tomorrow because I work, and then Wednesday, why do I have so much stuff going on Wednesday? I don't know, but fun. I get to play Commander though, so it's good. And yeah. But yeah, I definitely will continue to make content. It just won't be to the degree or necessarily the same content as I have been. And at this point, it's not even really about, you know, growing my YouTube. It's just kind of here because I enjoy making the content. And my people that I already have enjoy it. And, you know, I mean, every once in a while, we get 1 or 2 new people. But, yeah, that's kind of just the point where I'm at. You know, like I said, I'm not just gonna leave YouTube, but it has definitely not given me incentive to keep putting all my focus into it. No, I already tried video games, and that was just not for me or for my channel. See, that was one of the things, is when, like, the decline was starting for me, was close. Not too long after that was when I started playing games on stream, and that just made things even worse. So, no, not again. Also, I have such a hard time, like, focusing on video games. It's not my thing. Plus, like, my hands decide to, like, cramp up. Like, I used to play this one racing game on stream, and sometimes my hand would just start to, like, cramp, and I'd be like, this is not working. But, no. I love Minecraft, but no. I mean, I did play Minecraft for a long time, but not on stream anymore. I mean, I probably, like, maybe once or twice a year end up playing Minecraft. I don't really have anybody to, like, play it with at the moment, and I feel like it's a lot more fun to play with people. I guess I'm that way with most games. If I'm gonna play a video game, I want it to be something that I can play with other people, because even though I'm, like, not that social and generally prefer to do things alone, when it comes to stuff like video games and whatnot, if I'm gonna play it, it's gonna be like a game multiplayer. It's in Mario Kart. So see, I played this game, you know, the racing game that I used to play on my computer was, like, you know, similar-ish to Mario Kart, but only in the fact that it was like a racing game. I do like Mario Kart, though. It's one of the very few games that I will actually play, but once again, you know, only, like, with groups of people. Or Smash Bros. I do like Smash Bros. I main Corrin, because, you know, Swords and Dragons, beautiful, I love it. Really like swords, if y'all do not remember. Still got my sword on my wall. I haven't swung that thing around in way too long. I love it, though. Love my sword. More chicken videos. I mean, now that it's getting warm, I can go out and see the chickens more. But y'all want to know what's really sad is last time I went and pet the chickens, I had, like, an allergic reaction. I was like, bro, what? I don't even know, like, what my, like, skin and eyes and body's deal is, but I feel like I just become, like, allergic to a new animal every year. Like, I used to make a ton of money off of pet sitting, and then I started having allergic reactions to, like, most of the dogs that I would, like, take care of, and I was like, dude, this is stupid. I just want to, like, take care of the cute puppies, and my skin was like, well, you can do that, but, here's some, like, hides to enjoy, too. So anyways, I don't dog sit anymore. Plus, it didn't help that some, like, the last dog sitting jobs that I had before I quit were for very large, very untrained, and terribly behaved giant puppies. And by giant puppies, I mean, like, one of them was like a golden retriever puppy, so, you know, he probably weighed almost as much as I do. But he was as bouncy and as playful as a small puppy and had just a few months earlier been a small puppy, and I don't think he knew that he was not a small puppy anymore. Anyways, that was a nightmare. And there was a reason that I think the people, like, we were like their go-to dog sitters. We would dog sit for them every time they went out of town with their old 2 dogs. But after they lost their other 2 dogs and got their new dog, it was different. I could not handle him very well because, like I said, he probably weighed about as much as I do. And every night I had to put him into his crate for bed so that he didn't, wreak havoc on their entire house. And he would just refuse to go into his crate. Like, straight up. I could not get him into the crate. I was not physically capable of pushing him in, and it did not help that he would try to bite me. And so, it was just me trying to get him into his crate for bed. I spent like an hour this one night desperately just trying to get him in there without letting him bite my arm and leave, bloody teeth marks. I was not interested in having, this huge wound to deal with. So that was awful. I ended up having to call my dad and get him to come over and get the dog into the crate. And so anyways, that was my last dog sitting job. Yeah. And it wasn't just me, declining future offers. The owners of the dog felt so horrible that they just, didn't ask me anymore. They felt so bad. And they had legitimate reason to feel bad because that was a horrible experience and they should have paid me a lot more than they did, even though they already paid me a lot. Anyways, we've got an order. And that means I gotta figure out where I put the Towering Perfection. I think... Where did I put it? Because, see, now that was supposed to be 0. I updated it, and then I guess it didn't save because I moved it somewhere. I do have it. I just gotta figure out where it is now. Not in there. Okay. I will be back in just 1 minute. I think I know where it is. I just have to see if I can get it out. So be right back. Quickly. I will try at least. Alright, and I'm back. I found it. I just gotta get out of the box now. I'm very glad I was able to find it, because, I knew where it should be, it was just a matter of getting it out, because it was in one of the many boxes under my bed. And, there's a lot of boxes under there, because I have a queen-size bed, and it's also, on these stilt things, so there's room for a lot of boxes. But I got it. Here we go. Stick the rest of these back here. Maybe I should put the Oh, is it Skystream? Is that its name? Back on here? Let's see. Because I don't think it's on here. I don't see it, at least. There we go. Okay. Anyways, we have got 2 packs of Towering Perfection for Max. Go ahead and try to pull some spicy stuff. Let's see, did I update the amount on there? Oh yeah. I don't have to pull all the rest of it out, but let's see. 4. I guess, yeah. Okay, cool. Anyways, let's see what we can get. I don't know if this one is bigger than me, so she can pull me everywhere. Yeah. When dogs are very large, it be like that. Alright, starting off with some incense. We got a cute little Nickit Clauncher. Woo! And a beautiful Dialga. So happy that they brought like dragon type stuff back. Like I love it. But yeah, taking care that last dog sitting job was very, very, very rough. And he also needed to be like taken on long walks, but he was super duper misbehaved on walks. And once again, like I said, he was a large dog and I am a small girl, and it was not a great combo. But I lived to tell the tale, and now I don't dog sit anymore. I was sad. Like, I really did love dog sitting, and I do still love dogs. That goes Gore and Grandpa. But it is just not very reasonable to continue doing. Alright, there are all of those. I think you said you wanted all cards, right? Yep, yes you did. Let's see, we'll get those in a cute little stack. That reminds me, I don't have a ton of stacks right now, but I do have some that are like a lot overdue. Let's see, that one, Kyle McGillis, if you happen to see this, your stack is like 3 days overdue. That one's good. That one's good. Cutie value. Yours is like a month overdue. Fun. Chase Michael, also a month overdue. Kyle Baldwin, his is, it's complicated. And then Max, your pile is actually also about a month overdue. The reason that I haven't, just donated these all to the channel, I'm sure y'all can guess, is because I haven't been doing as many streams. But if you could pay for shipping tonight, that would be great. Also, Mr. Brain, yours expired last week. Pyro's, yours expired about a month ago. 6 expired last week. And Vanguard also expired a month ago. I think $6 should be fine for your shipping. And then I think I may have just seen another order, so let me refresh once again, if it will load, because that is helpful. Oh, okay, we have one minimum gold. Yes, definitely the minimum amount of gold, which is 0, so I can present unto you 0 gold. Okay, alright, where the heck did I put the max gold? Now I gotta figure out where I put that box. I'm so confused because I thought I left it right here, but now I get to find more stuff. Oh, never mind, there it is. I literally just moved it up a single shelf and that confused me, but I found it. Yeah, now apparently minimum gold. Beautiful. Alright, anyways, we're gonna pop this open. It's been a hot second since I've opened this set, and not gonna lie, I almost ended up opening this box last weekend. But then I remembered that was just because I was disappointed about my Korean box being tampered with and having to return it. And so instead I just had self-control and ended up ordering a new Korean box that hopefully will not come tampered with. Alright. Let's go ahead and see what we can get for ya. Snip. Hopefully something spicy. I forget. Is it like the Access token? Is it this set? Or is it something different? I don't know. Anyway, starting off with a Lost World. Elemental Hero Neos. Eldritch the Mad Golden Lord. I'm pretty sure he's not bad. The Phantom Knights of Break Sword. Familiar Possessed Lina. Very fancy. Get a Firewall Dragon. And Giant Rex. I do not actually know how good these are. I don't think they're big spicies, but we can consult the internet. And by the internet, I mean TCG Player. Love TCG Player. Why not? Let's see. It doesn't look like anything too particularly spicy. You've cried, the access code taco gets pulled. Well, it looks like, at least for this pack, there is no access code. We will go ahead and get a new little pile started for you. So, funny story. My sticky notes are still lost. I don't know what I did with them. Kind of sad, but, we will just, you know, get a piece of paper to use instead, except I also accidentally left my notepad across the room. So, instead, what we will do... Where is it? Oh, there it is. We'll grab a Pokemon energy card, and it is now a divider. Great, right? There we go. Alright, we will add those to the box. And then, let's see, I think... Alright, I got your payment for shipping, Max. I will go ahead and get that shipped out tonight after stream. Let's see. Go ahead and write down that you paid. Perfect. Alright, there we go. And then let me just refresh in case there are any other orders. Yeah, I've only ever pulled one access code, and I have opened so much of this set, and it wasn't even for me, so it was kind of rough, not gonna lie. Like, yeah. I was like, yeah. And what was sad was that the box that we got the access code for someone had been sitting on my shelf for like 2 months, and I bought a lot of Max Gold, and I probably had like 5 or 6 boxes of it just sitting on my shelf for a while, and one by one I opened all of them, and then finally I ended up just selling the packs from the last one, and that was the one with the access code. Anyways, I am sad about that. Alright, we got one more Max Gold. Pull that out. I'm gonna see what spice this one has. If this one also has an access code in it, I'm gonna just tell y'all now that I'm just not be okay, because this one has been on my shelf for even longer than that one. Like, this has been like the last box of this that's just been chilling. Pulled one, sold it, regretted it. Ouch. Alright, we got the Black Dragon Collapse Serpent. What a guy. We got number C1, Numeron Chaos Gate, Sunya. Oh, Mystic Mine, not bad. Altergeist, Silquitus, whatever. A Volzar Laggy. I feel like you pull either this one or a Volza in like every other pack. Like, not even gonna lie. We have the Wind Charmer Verdant. Sinnet Mining to finish it off. Let's see. We will give Mystic Mine a sleeve because I can. There we go. We'll get those added into your stack. Beautiful. Yeah, you know, what did Twitch do? I don't know. Twitch is just doing Twitch things, I guess. But, I definitely have a lot of cards that I've pulled and sold and regretted immensely. A lot of more, like, Magic ones, though. From, like, before I really started, like, playing Magic or building very many decks, I opened so much stuff, and there are just a few cards that I remember selling that I was just like, why did I sell that? Because now, like, I really want or need them for decks, and I'm like, I'm not just gonna buy one as a single, because I literally already sold one. And so now I just open more boxes hoping to pull them, but I can't. Like, from Jumpstart, one of the cards I really, 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 really want another one of is Bravak, and I cannot. I have opened 13 or 14 boxes of Jumpstart, and in all that time I think I pulled 2 Bravaks within the first, like, 4 to 6 boxes. One of them I idiotically sold, and the other one I still have, but now I need another one. So yeah. And I just can't pull another one. I've opened like 6, 7, 8, lots of boxes. And I just can't get one. There's also this one Teferi card that I haven't actually sold any of, but I've only pulled one of it out of Jumpstart, and I really want another one. But for some reason, I'm having a very difficult time getting another one. But, yeah, that Bravak. Pretty rough. There's been a few other things that have been like a little bit iffy, but that's definitely the one that's made me the saddest because it's a card that's like absolutely vital to the functioning of my favorite deck, but I also want to build his own deck, like just a Bravak deck, but until I get another one I cannot. I'm so tempted to buy another Jumpstart box tomorrow, but I can't. Basically, like, I physically can, but my accounting is like, do not do that, you can't, if that makes any sense. So, yeah, that's fun. And by fun, I mean, it's just me being very, very, very tempted to buy something that I should not. And I already bought a booster box today that I shouldn't have, so yeah. But Jumpstart is just such a good set. Like, it is definitely one of my favorite sets. Jumpstart and Double Feature are probably my 2 favorite to open. They're great sets, and I really enjoy them. I mean, a lot of people actually really hate Double Feature. I just have had decent luck with it, and I like how it's different than the other sets. And whereas, like, with Yugioh, they make a lot of sets that are kind of just different, you know? Like Ghost from the Past. It's something that you can't, like, buy booster boxes of. Or, like, Max Gold, like we just opened. There aren't booster boxes, there are just these 4-pack boxes, and that's it. So Yugioh does a lot more of the, you know, interesting stuff like that, but then they also have, like, their regular boxes. Pokemon, you know, primarily does their regular boxes, but then they also still have stuff like the McDonald's packs, or they've got the new Pokemon Go set coming out soon, and so they have a lot more, like, variety like that. Magic sets are a lot more consistent and structured. The only variation from just the regular Magic the Gathering is their sets that are not legal in the regular game, and that are kind of just like a separate 50 bajillion times more chaotic version of the game, but they're still, like, sold in, like, booster boxes and stuff the same way that other sets are, so they're really not that different. But Double Feature is interesting because it's like a combination of 2 sets, and then everything's put in grayscale, and that's, like, the most unusual Magic kind of stuff that I'm aware of, so I think it's neat. I hate trainer cards, like, for sale? I do not have any within my immediate access that I can think of, but if there are, like, specific trainers that you're looking for, I can check when I have the chance to go through my stuff if I've got extras. Buy it now, let future you worry about it. So see, that's what I told myself all of last week and with the box that I bought today. And so yeah, I don't know if I should do that again. Yes, there's a Pokemon Go set coming out fairly soon. Which reminds me is I was going to look at what they have listed of what's going to be in Astral Radiance, and it also says something about the Pokemon Go set, but apparently they only have like 2 things showing for what's going to be in Astral Radiance on this right now. Poke Collector, and she's really fancy Calyrexes, because why not give us even more Calyrexes? I mean, these are just ones from VMAX Climax, so it's not like they're never before seen, but that's all that they've got shown here. I don't know if they're showing anything for the Pokemon Go set, but they at least show that it exists. Oh my goodness. Why do they have more for the Pokemon Go than they do that? Apparently there's a Alolan Executor. Then there are the Mewtwo V and V-Star. I know that some of the big hype has been around those. There's apparently Melmetal. This Chansey and Blissey are adorable, and the Eevee! One Snorlax. But yeah, this looks pretty neat. I'm excited. Oh, it's Magikarp. I definitely need this. I love it so much. But yeah, they're doing a Pokemon Go set. I don't know exactly when it's coming out, but I definitely need it. And like all of it. But yeah, so that's pretty neato. Not gonna lie. Now I'm gonna take a quick second. Check on orders. Maybe. I have so many tabs opened, like it takes me a second to actually find where everything is. Like, I have so many tabs open. It's chaos. Because I mean, I have my tab open for streaming on YouTube, my tab open for streaming on Twitch, my software that's broadcasting to YouTube, and my software that's broadcasting to Twitch. Then I have a Chrome thing with a tab for PayPal and a tab for CashApp, and then another Chrome thing with a tab for Venmo and a tab for my other CashApp, and then I have another thing of Chrome open with a TCG player, Poké Collector, and eBay tabs open. Then I also have my Excel, and I think that's all of them. But yeah, there's a lot of tabs to go through across my 2 screens. I need a 3rd screen. I don't know if that's physically like possible with my computer, but I could use it. Now, I don't have a ton of like experience, playing Pokemon Go. I played it for like a week and then realized that I don't have unlimited data, so that was a bad idea, and then I deleted the app, and that was that. But it is Pokemon, therefore good. Plus, I mean, who doesn't, every once in a while just have the I play Pokemon Go every day. Just like play in their head. I'm not the only one, right? Yes, I am streaming on Twitch right now. I've started simultaneously streaming on Twitch and YouTube like a month ago, but I've only done like 4 streams in that time, so still not that many people know. But yeah, I'm on Twitch now. Pretty fancy, I know. I got like 1 viewer on Twitch. Thank you to whoever you are. I do not know who you are, but thank you. But yeah. Told you to get the. But why would I get a computer with touchscreen? I can't like even reach the screen. I mean, like I can. Also, but like I would have to like get my hand like straight against it because I can't use my fingertips because my nails. I have to like be able to reach all the way enough to put my fingertips flat on there. So, yes. Touchscreen, not really ideal. I mean, like, I use my phone touchscreen, but I have to, like, literally hold my finger, like, it's gotta be parallel with the screen. Do you play console handheld Pokemon games? No. Like I said, I'm not super huge on video games. And I also just don't like have a personal console to play anything on because I'd rather spend my money on cardboard. I almost had somebody sell me their Switch like several months ago, but then I was just like, bro, I appreciate the offer, but you could be making way more money off of this and I don't have the money to give you what it's really worth. So they ended up selling it to someone else, and that was alright because I spent the money on cardboard instead, which is like my favorite thing to buy. If y'all haven't noticed, really like cardboard. But I mean, like, my family has consoles and stuff, but nah, I literally like don't have any video games that I play. Like, I own a lot of video games. I have so many video games, like, on my computer. Like, I've got The Sims 4, Train Simulator. I don't even know what that is. I think it's some kind of racing game. We have Train Station Renovation. We've got Undertale. What a quality game. I legitimately meant to, like, do a playthrough of that, but I still haven't actually played. We've got Spellcaster University. Then we've got my emulator when I played Pokemon Silver. I never actually got my money for playing that after someone told me they'd pay me, so that's kind of sad. Then I do have the Pokemon online game. I've got some weird game called Morkred, which is like some kind of strategy game. Hearts of Iron 4, Tales of Monkey Island, Hollow Knight, Secret Neighbor, some weird game called YouTuber's Life, I don't even know, Hot Shot Racing, which is the one racing game I used to play. Then we got another Tales of Monkey Island. There's a game called Not Tonight, and Sid Meier's Civilization 6. Those are at least all the ones that are on my desktop. So, yes. Such is 10 out of 10. I mean, I feel like for most people, yes, but I wouldn't use it. I don't know when I would use it. Like, my family, we have, like, a family Switch, but I wouldn't really want to have to compete for it when I don't even, like, play games that much. I'm, like, the kind of person that, personally, I like to watch people play games. Not, like, just, like, watch, like, playthroughs. I like to, like, physically sit on the couch and watch someone play games. When I was a kid, I would just watch my older brother play games for, like, hours. We were always either playing Legos or I was watching him play, like, Zelda or the Lego Indiana Jones Wii game. We really liked Lego Indiana Jones, if you can't tell. Which I'm sure my grandpa loved, because he loves the Indiana Jones movies, so it is pretty great. But, yeah, I don't know. I just really enjoy watching people play games. I mean, like, I had a friend in, like, late 10th grade that all we would do when we hung out was, like, I just wanted to watch him play video games. Like, we would play through tons of stuff. They were actually who I played through Undertale with. So basically, they played, but they made me make any, like, major decisions and stuff. And that was about how it went. Because they had played, like, most of the games that we played before. But then they do, like, a playthrough with me where they made me make the decisions, and I'm not good at decision making. So it was kind of like, I was just always like, I don't know. But, that was fun times. But that was, like, literally all they did. They'd always, like, ask, they're like, are we, like, bored? Like, we could do something else. I was just like, this is literally, like, I am having a great time. No, that was almost like our entire friendship, was just me watching them play video games, so I don't know. I mean, I don't enjoy it as much as I did when I was younger, certainly, but I do, like, I like to just, like, you know, do, like, commentary on whatever they're doing, or, like, you know, joke with them about, like, how they play through something. I don't know. Yeah, Undertale, I loved Undertale so much. I'll probably do really trash, like, any of the kind of puzzle type things, but it's a fun game. It's got so much to it, and I'm not sure I could figure it out enough to, like, get through it. It just take a very long time, and I don't have enough time for a very long time of playing Undertale at the moment, but maybe one day I just will suddenly have a ridiculously large amount of time. That would be great, but I don't know how to just suddenly have a very large amount of time, but I guess we will just hope that maybe one day. Let's see, I'm gonna check orders again. I'm not seeing any more, but just in case I missed anything. No more. I think I'm gonna go eat some pizza soon. I got some leftover pizza. I love my pizza. But, yes. Or I could eat frozen fruit. Lately, I've, like, it's kind of funny. Like, a couple months ago, one night, I was, like, craving, like, a popsicle or something. I was like, this is so random. I don't think we even have popsicles. As far as I could tell, we did not. I later learned that we probably did, but it was just in our freezer fridge thing in the garage. That's just our old refrigerator that's broken. And anyways, but yeah, I didn't think to check in there. But I ended up like going through our regular freezer, and I found some frozen fruit, and I was just like, oh. And so I ended up eating some frozen fruit, and I was like, yo, this is like really good. So now I eat frozen fruit at like 3 a.m. like regularly. So I just really like my frozen berries. Like I've got like it's like a raspberry, blackberry, blueberry, strawberry mix. I do not like blueberries, so I wouldn't mind if those were gone, but I love all the other berries, so I enjoy those. Anyways, I do think I just saw a notification for another order. Last gold. So technically that is incorrect, but we can open a pack for you, though. I'm so confused, like. Okay, I think I figured it out. Your payments are confusing me, but like this is fine. In the end, I think it adds up right. Oh yeah, that adds up to the right number. It took me a second, but he's right. Alright, let's get some spice. We got a Black Dragon Collapse Serpent. Number C1 Numeron Chaos Gate Sunya. Oh, cute little Ghost Mourner. Have Altergeist Meluseek. Magical Dimension. Psyframe Lord Zeta. And a Giant Rex. I don't actually know what the Ghost Mourner is worth, but it is a card that I recognize and is cute little girl in like a bunny costume. I don't know if it's actually supposed to look like a bunny costume, but in my opinion at least that's what it looks like. So it gets a sleeve. And we'll go ahead and add those to your stack. I do however know that the one Magical Dimension thing is not worth much, because I had like several of them and I was like, whoa, I think these are worth some money, and then I was like, oh never mind, they're not. So I do know that card. I'm very slowly but surely learning a lot more about all of the Yu-Gi-Oh cards and stuff. Like, now I'll see really random, my Korean cards, and I'll be like, oh yes, that's like the Red Hot Archfiend dude, because I know that now. So yeah, creamies. Let's see, the problem there is I don't actually like creamies, but I do know a lot of people do like them, so I'll take your word for it that they are good. I just personally do not care to eat them. But then again, I'm that way with most foods, so it shouldn't really be a terribly large surprise. I'm just a super picky eater, and that is very inconvenient, yes, will not lie. But like I said, I got my pizza, my leftover pizza, I got my frozen fruits, like I'm set. We good. I've got the food that I need. And yeah, and then now I don't ever need popsicles again, because I can just eat my frozen fruit and it's all good. The only part that's inconvenient about, frozen fruit is that it doesn't like come on like a stick like popsicles do. So I just like dump some of it into a cup, and then just like, I just like dump the cup and like eat a couple at a time. Is fine. I only sometimes get brain freezes. I mean, it's not like I hate them, it's just I don't enjoy eating them. And I don't enjoy how they taste. Or their texture. Their texture upsets me. But it's not like they're wrong, it's just my taste buds are stupid. So see, I am the problem, not the creamies. It's that way with everything, except tomatoes, in my opinion, they are the problem. But not everybody agrees with me on that, especially my mom, who will cut up a raw tomato, sprinkle salt on it, and eat it like that. the worst one is at dinner, because we have like assigned seats at my dinner table. Does anybody else, does like anyone else have assigned seats at the dinner table? Because in my house, we all have our seat, and that's the only seat we ever sit at for dinner. And I'm like, I don't know, does other people do that, or is that us? I don't know, but I need answers now. But the point being, the point being is, so my assigned seat is right next to my mom's seat, and so at dinner sometimes she will just have her plate of sliced up tomatoes for her to sprinkle salt on and eat. The thing is, not only could I not stand the taste of tomatoes, but I cannot stand the smell. Like, it just, ugh. And so she'll just be eating her sliced up tomatoes, like, right next to me, and I just, like, hold my breath and try not to breathe because it smells so bad. And so I really hate that. And, that's one of the nice things about always working during the time that my family eats dinner now. I'm home for dinner like twice a week, max, most weeks. But, so yeah, I don't have to deal with tomatoes as often, because usually I'm not home. This is where I can see the TV. I mean, you know, this is fair. Alright, we do have an order for the actual last pack of Maximum Gold. This is like the last pack I have in my entire house of this. Kind of wild. I've had these things for so long. Now let's see what is in this final pack, if it is the big spice or nah. Starting off with a Golden Land Forever. We have Eva, Super Express Bullet Train, Eldritch the Mad Golden Lord, very nice, Sky Striker Ace Rose, Tempest Dragon Ruler of Storms. I didn't even know this guy existed, but he looks like a tornado in dragon form, and I think that's kind of cool. And we have it's one of the really weird fireball dragons. I'm so used to the one that's like blue. I don't know that I like ever have like acknowledged seeing this fireball dragon before, and it's kind of tripping me out. But yes. So no access code. Fortunately, I didn't get like the Predaplant or like any of the big or medium spice, but we got this really funky firewall dragon. We'll go ahead and add those into your stack. And you know what? Just for good measure, let me just, there we go. Just for good measure, I'm going to put your one-of-a-kind pack, empty pack of minimum gold. I'm gonna put that in your stack too, so you can enjoy that whether you want to or not. Dinner table, usually the parents had assigned seats, so like just your parents had assigned seats and everyone else just sat wherever. Interesting. I remember it's like, in a, like addition to this, is like at one point our dinner table, like our assigned seats was slightly different, and it was, I don't know why we had the seats that we did, but it just was what it was, and I don't remember exactly what it used to be. Where's my, it's bothering me immensely that I don't have my notepad right here, but I think I might have an extra one. Okay. I thought there was extra notepad. It was just a bunch of sticker sheets, which is not a bad thing, but also not what I was looking for. I saw a whiteboard on my desk, but then I realized that I do not want to erase all the stuff off my whiteboard, so it's fine. We will just, on the back of this sheet of my lovely P.O. Box address, and maybe not with a Sharpie so that I can still use these, but so, you know, this pen kind of works. But yeah, so, you know, our table's like this. There's a seat here, 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 and here. And like I said, I don't remember exactly what the old setup was, but if I can remember, as far as like, I can remember / guess, my dad was here. And then I think this was my little sister, then I'm pretty sure it was my mom, and I don't remember which was which, but one brother was here and one brother was here. And I was over here. And so the reason we decided to change seats is, you know, being kids and all, I was a little bit bothered that all of my other siblings got to sit next to a parent, but I didn't, and my little sister got to sit next to two parents. And also, we just thought that that was kind of weird. Like, this was, you know, I don't know why it took us so long to, like, suddenly decide we didn't, like, want to do that setup anymore. But so then we changed it so that my mom was here, and my dad was there, and then my little sister, and then my older brother, and then now I sit here. I actually sit in the same place, technically, I guess. And then my younger brother sits there. And so now it's like that. And yeah, so now my parents sit at the head of the table. And there you go. That's my family dinner table setup. That's our assigned seats. And you know what'd be funny is next time I eat dinner with my family, what if I just, like, sit at somebody else's seat and just, like, see how they respond? Because, like, literally the only time when our setup is any different is if, like, our grandparents are in town or something for dinner, and that's just absolute chaos, because, like, our table can comfortably sit 6 people. More is, like, a no-go, though. But, like, when my grandparents come to town, it's usually just, like, if, like, my mom's parents are in town, you know, we, like, stick an extra seat, like, here, and, like, maybe one, like, over here. And, like, so these are all, like, nice chairs with backs, and then the little ones are just stools, and lucky me, I get to sit on a stool stuck on the end of the table. And then usually, like, my mom will sit there. And then it's probably usually, like, then, I don't know. I think my little sister usually gets stuck on the other stool. Yeah, it's probably usually her. Though sometimes my mom and little sister, my mom was on the stool instead. But usually it's me and my little sister that we get the stools because we are very small compared to everyone else who is older than us. And my younger brother, because he's, like, super tall. But, yeah, we get the stools. And then it'd be, like, my grandma, maybe over there. My dad would probably sit in the same spot. Then, like, my older brother. My grandpa. We usually sit next to my little sister because they like to harass each other. I guess I'd probably end up with, like, my younger brother over here. But yeah, I'm only a little bit salty about getting stuck on the stool. Only a little bit. Just a little bit. But, yeah, so assigned seats at the dinner table. Now I'm really curious about, like, how normal this is. Like, I don't know. Would you ever play Also, would you ever play Master Duel once? If somebody paid me, like, decent money to, probably, but just, like, of my own free will, like, I'm not that interested in video games as it is, so I wouldn't really have, like, you know, any desire to. Of course, it would be helpful as a way to learn how to play Yu-Gi-Oh!, which, would definitely be very applicable for my job to, you know a little bit more about Yu-Gi-Oh! I mean, things would go pretty alright, though, without knowing anything about how to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Because, I mean, like, you know, every once in a while, people will, like, come in and ask about cards I'd recommend for playing for, like, Magic and Pokemon. And I know how to play both those games, so I can, you know, help. But I don't know if anybody's ever asked me about, like, what Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards are good. I mean, if somebody does have questions about, like, getting started playing Yu-Gi-Oh!, I just direct them towards a pre-constructed deck. I mean, I can do that with Magic, too, but more of the questions I get about Magic are just, I mean, I don't get, like, a ton. Like I said, not a ton of people are asking questions about, like, what cards would be good and whatnot, but sometimes when they do, but I'll like point out some cards that have good synergy, or like ask them like, well, what kind of card are you playing? What's your commander if it's magic? Or like, what colors do you prefer? Here are a couple cards that I know are known to be like very playable in that color or whatever. But I don't know that I've ever had anybody playing Yu-Gi-Oh like ask me much other than like, yo, what starter decks you got or whatever. Like parents like getting stuff for their kids. So I don't know. I haven't really ever had too many reasons to worry about knowing how to play Yu-Gi-Oh other than just, you know, being around people that play Yu-Gi-Oh. That's just, I don't know. I mean, I randomly hear a lot of things about it, and you know, I know a lot of really random stuff, and there's a lot of things that I don't get, like field centers. So please tell me what a field center is. Like, is it literally just a card you put like in the center of the field, like in between where you play? Like, what are field centers and why can they be Pokemon? I have so many questions. Actually, I just have that one. What's a field center? That's all that I am concerned about knowing about the game of Yu-Gi-Oh at the moment. What is a field center? You know what I'm really sad about? Apparently, when we do Yu-Gi-Oh regionals in like a month, Konami is requiring people to wear masks, and so like bro, that's like old news. Like, I thought we were done with that. Also two, I don't want to. Like, for the first good year and a half of COVID, I was totally fine with always wearing masks. I mean, I actually made a bunch of masks that I sold. Like, I literally was pumping out like multiple masks a day and selling them. And so that was great. It was fine. I just wore all my custom masks. But I'm done with them. It's just, it hit that point and it was like, alright, we're done. I'm moving on. I do not want to have to wear a mask again, even if it's just for one day for a tournament, because one, it is going to be so freaking hot in there. Because we used to apparently have like this big swamp cooler, like fan thing, that made it like super like chill, and apparently got stolen. So yeah, it's gonna be like 200 people. And it gets really, really warm when we've got like under 100 people in there playing games. So 200 people is gonna be like, I'm going to be melting. Yeah, so I'm really not excited about that. Also, it's gonna be so hard to hear anyone, because 200 people is kind of loud, and masks make it hard to hear, and it is just gonna be awful, because it'll be hard to hear, and people can't see my amazing smile, which is like super cringe. So I don't know, I'm a bit not happy about the masks thing. Like, but I'm staff. Isn't it fine if I just, like, don't? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe I can get out of it. I don't know. I just do not want that. Yeah. You have plenty of stuff behind you. Oh, so you haven't heard. So, the shelves behind me, there was kind of a lot too much stuff on them. And they started to go like that. And anyways, I had to move everything so that they didn't collapse. And that kind of messed up streaming for a couple weeks. And then I had to get new ones built. And then I had to put like stuff back on the new ones and anyways, everything is still a mess. And it's been weeks now and it's just chaos. But yeah, so shells, yeah. I don't have to wear masks anymore. People still do. Yeah, I mean, like, I know people that still just wear masks. Like, actually, my manager, he just likes wearing masks, so he does. Like, just because he can. He just feels like it. So he almost always, like, wears a mask. And you know, that's what you choose to do. That's perfectly fine by me. I just don't want to wear one anymore. I'm good. I already did that. I'm glad to be done. Like, at the time, I legitimately did not mind. Like, you know, I wasn't really worried about my personal health, but I had enough respect for the people around me that I was like, yeah, no, this is fine. I don't really care. Like I said, I made my own ones and, you know, advertising by wearing it. So it was all good and dandy and I didn't mind. But then, like, one day I just did not anymore. I just, like, stopped wearing them. That was that. Now I don't know where most of them are. I did randomly find them in a coat pocket, like, a couple months back. But, yeah, that's about it. Welcome, Woodies. Nice to have you. And, whoa. Yeah, it's been quite the ordeal. I still have so much, like, stuff that I still need to find places for. Because my new shelves can't hold as much stuff. Because, one, they're smaller, and two, I don't want the same thing to happen. So now it's just a mess. Yeah, my poor shelves. It's rough. Yeah, that is that. Man, I'm trying to think like what the last time I even wore a mask was. It was quite a while ago, but I'm glad I don't have to anymore. It's great. I like being able to, like, I'm one of those people that smiles like a lot when I talk, and not being able to like express that and like have people like see, I mean, like, I smile with my eyes too, like they get like really squinty and they just kind of like shrink, and so like of course people can like kind of see that too, but it's just not the same. It's just like seeing like an actual smile and stuff, and so like, you know, I felt like I was like, man, how do I like express myself, because I don't know, it was weird times, but it's all good because now people can see my face again. And it was really funny is back when masks were required. Whenever I would like go out wearing a wig, because all my wigs have like, you know, the long thick bangs, and so I would just feel like a ninja because you just see my eyes. And it was funny because this one time I had my wig on and a mask, and it was super sunny, so I put these sunglasses on. I had just like my whole face covered. I don't know, it was kind of funny to me. I'd like got in my car though, so I was like, okay, I can take off the mask, but it's funny to me. Most teachers were there, so I want my out of respect. Yeah, that's fair. There's some nice things about not going to school anymore. There are none of that to worry about. And I mean, there are very, 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 very few people that I see wearing a mask at the place I work. Like I said, my manager does. That's just because he said that he just prefers to, and, you know, that's that. But, maybe like once a week I'll see someone else wearing a mask. One time it was funny, some people walked in and I'm just sitting there, you know, at the front desk not wearing a mask because I don't think I have ever worn a mask at work. Only like before I worked there when it was still required. But as soon as they took down the masks required sign, I stopped wearing them. But I mean, I know like some places had stopped requiring them and I still wore them for a bit, but by the time the place that I now work, before I worked there, by the time it got rid of its policy, I was like, yeah, nah, I'm done. I'll get rid of these. And by get rid of, I mean just put them in some pile on a shelf, so yeah. But, what was my point I was getting to? I'm like not even sure what I was talking about. I don't know. But I do see we've got someone in the Twitch chat. Welcome. It is great to have you join. And what point was I trying to make? Oh, okay, I remember. I was telling you guys a story. So, like I said, these people walked in. I was just sitting there, you know, not wearing a mask. And then a couple of them had masks on. And they're like, kind of like, almost like sheepishly, they're like, are masks required in here? And me, with no mask on, I was like, nope, y'all are good. You don't have to wear them if you don't want to. It's up to you. It was kind of funny to me, because, like, I very obviously did not have a mask on, but, like, they, like, sheepishly were like, are masks required? I was like, nope, they're not. So you're good. I don't know, maybe like one of them was wearing a mask and one of them like was holding mask. I don't know, I don't remember exactly what it was, but I don't know. I just thought it was funny because I very much was not wearing a mask and they were still just like, so I was like, no. Y'all good. But yeah, so funny times, and by funny I mean it's you know, it was something, but either way, I don't look forward to having to probably wear a mask while there were like 200 people in the store. It's gonna be a really interesting day though, because apparently we're gonna have to like move like a ton of the like stuff that we have out of the way. Like we've got this whole like desk area in the back corner that's where, and there's like a whole bunch of like shelves with cards and stuff, and apparently we're gonna have to like move that. I don't know where, like might just be like into like the back area of the store, and I don't know, but we're gonna have to somehow like move like all this stuff so we can put up even more tables, so you know 200 people can fit in there. I think like it's just over 200 people is like the max amount that we can have for regional, but yeah, a lot of people, a lot of moving stuff, and this was a trend. I mean, like I said, I made good money off of making and selling masks. People really loved being able to get locally, like, handmade, or I guess, I mean, I made it on a sewing machine, but, like, I don't know, my mask business was pretty popular, and I mean, like, they were, like, really high quality, and I was selling, like, $5 a piece, so, honestly, it was, like, a pretty good deal, and it took me a lot longer to make them, like, in the first place, but, like, as I got better at it, I was able to get through them pretty quickly. But yeah, so that went well for me. But I mean, like, there was a time when I was like, oh yeah, this is fine, you know, like I didn't mind wearing them for a good first while. I was like, yeah, it was just chill, plus like just showing off my stuff. But then I just kind of like eventually just hit like a flipping point where I was just like, I'm done with these, so I just stopped, except at GameStop, because they still required them for a long time, but then they stopped, and then they started requiring them again. I was like, bruh, why? But yeah, see how many people will fit in the store. It's gonna be interesting, but it's gonna work. I mean, we've had tons and tons of people in there before. I don't ever know how many, but it'll be interesting. Talk to me with masks on. I should have put my face. You know, I just keep a respectful distance if need be, but usually I'm like almost, like I said, I'm almost never around anybody that is like wearing masks other than my manager, and you know, custom mask with your YouTube name on it when you shout out. You know, I should have at the time, because let's see, 2020, yeah, that was when I started, no, yes, yeah, that was like the year I really started doing a lot with my channel, so maybe I should have, but I didn't, so, yes, I guess I could do that for, the regionals, but I don't really want to have to make a new mask for that, because I would have to pull out all of my craft stuff in the Lego craft storage room to sew a new mask, and yeah, I think I'll pass. Handmade, yup. I don't know that I own any masks that I didn't make for myself. A couple of my family members had a few masks that I didn't make, but for the most part, me and my entire family almost like exclusively used my masks, just because, you know, I mean, straight up made in our own house, customized to each person's face. I think my little brother was the only one that like mostly used masks from elsewhere, and that was largely because like the masks that I originally made him were like a little bit too small, but instead of like taking care of that, he ended up like getting some free masks at school and just ended up using those. But I did make him some better ones later on. But yeah, Lego crafting storage room. It's so chaotic. But yeah, so this room was like a storage room plus my craft room, and by craft room I mean it's where I paint, it's where I do my nails, it's where I sew, it's where I do anything with any kind of craft stuff like at all. And so I have a lot of stuff in there for that. I got this big desk, but now that desk is half covered in boxes of Legos because we decided to convert the room into also a Lego room again. So we have a new Lego room, except it's also my craft room, and I have mixed feelings about it. But yeah. But I mean, I guess, instead of like, since I just don't feel like making a new mask. Like, sure, I'm most absolutely capable of just like moving stuff out of the way, pulling my stuff out and making a mask. I actually still have a lot of like half finished masks that like I just never completed. I could probably just like alter one. But then again, I could also just alter one I already have. Like, I know I have some that should be a little bit more plain. I could potentially like embroider I could embroider sub to Zellaveire on it. See, that would be great. It's a quality idea. Nah, I will probably just go for like the thinnest mask I have. No, I'll be one of those people. I'll just get like a piece of what's it called? Lace. I'll just get like a piece of lace and just like, oh yes, this is my see-through mask. I've got some really pretty like pink lace. Perfect. Now I'll just pick one out that's just like a nice thin like one layer mask. Cause yeah, I mean, as I've mentioned before, I am not a particularly loud person and I lose my voice a lot. So trying to talk through lots of layers of fabric is also not generally ideal. People just be like, yo, what you trying to say? And I'll be like, words! Just trying. Just attempting social media. Yeah, for sure, definitely, would be a fun thing to do. What I was gonna do, like, forever ago, but never actually did, was, like, get one of those, like, window sticker things for cars with a QR code that linked to my channel. And I legit, like, had the QR code and everything. I just never made it into a sticker because I'm too cheap to spend money on things that aren't actually cardboard, so. Yeah. Very business-like, yes. I would definitely consider myself someone who's business-minded. I mean, my ultimate goal is to become an entrepreneur and not have to be part of the system because I have a lot of personal issues with said system. Like all the systems, school, government, just the general work system thing. See, this is why I have to take over the world so I can fix it all, but until then, I at least want to be my own boss. Which, I'm like partially my own boss currently, but at least, my other technically boss, my manager, is like super duper chill and also super duper sarcastic, so it is fine, because I can just be chill and sarcastic too. As long as I don't like not do my job, I'm good. And I like my job, so it works out very, very nicely. And yeah, so we'd be good until, I take over the world or just become my own boss entirely. But honestly, at this point, like, I don't have any reason to not want to continue working at the place I do. I mean, like, of course, there are things that I could do where I would make more money, but the value of being able to work at a job that I genuinely enjoy, for the most part, is worth more than the money that I could be making elsewhere. Because, money, yeah, it's great. It's what gets me my shiny cardboard, but I'd rather not just sell my soul to straight up cash. This doesn't really sound worth my time. So instead, I'll keep working at my place because I like it, and then doing, TCG player and stuff, and getting my cardboard. And I mean, technically, in a way, working there also just saved me a lot of money because I do get employee discounts on certain things I buy. So it works out alright in the end. And we good. Anyways, it's like 2 a.m. and I probably should have finished streaming like an hour ago. But tonight has been super duper fun. and I'm glad I decided to stream. I almost didn't. I was just like, maybe not. And I was just like, you know what? But why not? Why not, though? And so here I am. I'm better opportunity somewhere else. Well, I could go and get a starting position at Target and make almost double what I do now. So, yeah. But I don't want to work at Target for a lot of reasons. I mean, one thing that like, is a big factor why I like working where I do is just, like, it's, like, almost, like, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but just, like, the community vibes. Whereas Target is, like, you know, such, like, a big system. There's so many people working there. The place I work, there are literally, like, 3 regular employees, and, you know, I know a ton of the regulars and stuff, and it's just small and chill, and I like it that way. And I don't love to work for somewhere that's so, like, unpersonal, like, you know, somewhere like Target or whatever. Oh no, Target where I am doesn't pay 24. I mean, maybe, like, not starting it's 24? I don't know, but I think starting at Target, like, where I live, what I've looked at, it usually looks like it's between, like, 14 and 16, which is a lot more than I make. So, sometimes I think about it, but then I remember that I'd absolutely hate working at Target, so it's fine. So, it's okay. Lots of Karens at Target. Yeah, I don't want to deal with them. Also, welcome Slayer's Journey. It's nice to have you join. But yeah, so I will not be working at Target. I'm good. Plus, Target opens a lot earlier than the place I work. I like working at one of the very, very few places that I have ever found that opens at 2 in the afternoon. It's perfect for me. It's so great. It's very, very good. I do plan on working on trying to improve my sleep schedule, but, like, still. Glad that my place of employment doesn't open till 2, except on Saturdays. I do, in fact, get paid single digits. It is rough, and, yeah, there's a reason I don't have much extra money, like, ever. But, like I said, I love working there, and even though I could be making, like, double at someplace else entry, you know, just, like, for the sake of, like, my emotional and mental well-being, I love it so much where I work, and I'm like, the money's just not quite convincing enough to work somewhere else. Maybe at some point I might have to, you know, pick up a second job or something, but I'll get there when I get there, and it is what it is. I mean, follow its fells. I know my parents will probably just let me live with them forever, so I mean, at least for the most part, I don't really have a ton of expenses other than, like, you know, paying for gas and whatnot. And, you know, my cardboard addiction, it like I said, it's, like, pretty break even, so it basically just pays for itself. So, like, most of the money I do make, I can at least put into savings so that I can at least start accumulating something that eventually I might be able to, like, you know, get my own place. But I also have, like, a severe, like, I just really dislike debt. You know, maybe for some people, like, getting a house mortgage, just, you know, that's fine. That's just part of life. But for me, I just simply cannot fathom being in, like, any kind of debt like that. I just can't. And so my intent is, if I do ever move out, 1, I refuse to rent, because that is just burning money in order to have a roof over your head. I am only interested in buying, and I don't want to have to take a huge mortgage out on whatever kind of place I buy. So even if it means it's going to take a really, 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 really long time until I can afford my own place, at least by the time I can afford it, you know, it'll just, you know, it will be mine, the money will be mine, and I won't have to be in debt. I won't have to worry about paying interest, and it will be okay. It'll just be a long time. But, you know, maxing out your credit card. Now, see, See, that's the trick. I don't own a credit card, so works out. And since I don't like debt, why would I need credit? You know? My parents, no, they don't get this, and I don't blame them for not getting it. I don't think a lot of people get it. They think I need to get a credit card and, you know, start taking care of credit and stuff, but I just... no thanks. I think I will... I you know, that's why my backup plan is living in a cardboard box with a raccoon friend, because that would not require me to go into debt. So, I'd rather be debtless living in a cardboard box than very much hankered down by debt. You know, to buy a house, you need credit. Why can't I just give them $100,000 cash? Why would they say no? What reason would they have to be like, you, cash? Nah. Let me know that you regularly use money that you don't have and then pay it back last minute. I'd rather that than cash, okay? It's see, yeah, the government would make me pay for the land, but like a 5 foot by 5 foot plot of land will cost significantly less than a very large plot of land with a house on it. So, you know. And plus, like I said, I'll probably just live in my parents' basement for, you know, as long as it takes me enough to save up enough to, like, you know, buy a house. I could live in a pretty, like, you know, small house too. It's not like I require a lot of space. I literally need like 3 rooms. Bedroom, bathroom, other room. Other room would mostly just be like crafts, storage, and some kind of thing that could store food because I don't want to actually have to cook. I mean, I just need like a microwave and a fridge. That'll be good. That's all I need. Microwave, fridge, that will be my kitchen. I mean, like, and a sink, but that would be really weird if you just, like, didn't have a sink in your kitchen room place. You know? But, it'll be fine. I mean, like, technically I could just live in a trailer home, but the one reason I wouldn't is because you do have to pay, like, rent for the land, and that is super cringe. Rent is just burning money, and you know, no disrespect to people that just, you know, pay rent and that's how they do it. That is perfectly fine. I just would hate having to do that. So no. So that's why I will probably live in my parents' basement for a very long time. But it's okay, because they said I can, as long as I can continue to be a contributing member of society. Which at the moment I am doing pretty well, so I think it's all good. Who knows if that might, like, suddenly change, but we'll cross that bridge if/when we get to it. Probably just if, though. I think we should be fine. You know if your home was passed down by a family member, or did they buy it? My parents, the house that I live in, my parents built when I was like a baby. So we're the only family that has ever lived here, and we moved in like when I was like a year old. So yeah, this house is slightly younger than I am, and no, nobody else has lived in it before because it was, you know, made the way my parents wanted, but technically the people that built it kind of didn't do the greatest job and messed up some stuff, and there's like this mysterious just like foot of wasted space behind some closet, and it's interesting. But yeah, no, the house I live in is just one that my parents built when I was very small. They thought it was going to be like their dream home forever, which it ended up not being. And honestly, at this point, we really ought to move for a plethora of reasons, but here we are. The housing market is also like complete chaos at the moment, and people from California keep moving here and paying cash to buy houses, and they have a lot more cash than we have money like at all, so they just get all the houses, and then all the Utahns don't have houses, and so yeah, it's not like there's even anywhere for me to move if I had the money yet, so parents' basement it is. So, yeah. That's that. But yeah, so this is the house that my parents had built. And, you know, I know my grandparents' house, it wasn't like a passed down thing either, but it is like in like the plot next to the house that one of my grandparents grew up in. And at some point they owned both houses, and at some point my uncle and his family lived in the one house, but then apparently they sold it, so now just some other random people live there, but you know, that's something. But yeah, so that's pretty nice though. It's got like a total like log cabin kind of feel from the outside, but like kind of classy, but on the inside it's just straight up like a cute little nice house. Do they know if they had some sort of license to build on that land? I mean, we own the land that it is on, and we like worked through like these house building people that built like most of the houses in the area. Yet despite all the houses they've been building in the area, they still messed a bunch of stuff up. We also have some really wonky light switches that like don't work. Like, especially, so the master bedroom lights are a mess. Like, so there's two light switches in the master bedroom. Two light switches right next to each other. One of them is for the lights, and one of them is for the ceiling fan. If you click one, nothing will happen. If you click the other, there's a 50% chance that something will happen. Well, a 50% chance that the light will turn on. And that's it. It just 50% of the time, if you click both of them, the light will turn on. So there's this little remote control they have to use instead that's got a button to turn on the light and a button to turn on the fan. And so they have to use that. But if the remote has the light turned on, you can still turn it off with the light switch. But if the remote has the light turned off, then the light switch won't work most of the time. It's a mess. It's so bad. It's so bad. Like, seriously. I might just save up money and build me a house. I mean, like, you just, you know, own the land and you can build house on it if you have the money or the, or a loan to get the money to build on it. I'm trying to build a house with a pool and hot tub. That sounds expensive, but fancy. Very fancy. And I'm gonna probably like bring up the value of the home too, I'd say. Electrical problems. Yeah, I mean, like, it's a pretty usual thing where I live. A lot, like, the city that I live in, when we moved here when I was like a small child, was just being developed at the time. So like there were like all the plots for houses and people were buying them and then having their houses built on it. Like that's what like everyone did in the majority of like the city I live in, or at least like the newer half of the city. But like I mean, I guess that's just so normal to me because that's like what almost everyone does or has done or is doing. So, you know, it's, I mean, like, of course there are people that like moved in later, but a lot of the people that, like, a lot of my neighbors are the people that built the house and were the first people to ever live in it. So it's like, that's just what I'm used to. I mean, we do have a lot of neighbors that like end up moving out and different people moved in, but like I still know who most of the people that like originally lived in these houses were. So like, what brought up your Lego addiction? Well, I mean, it's not like it was really built around me necessarily, because during the time that it was being built, we lived in another city that's a solid like half hour, 20, 30 minutes away. So I was I was there being a small child while some fancy house building people that messed up the master bedroom electric stuff built this house. Not saying they did a bad job, but like it's like really messed up, like almost comically, but like to the point where you're just like, how did you do it that bad and not like even like go back and fix it? I don't know. So yeah, but no, see, I would build a house out of Legos, but I already thought about it, and you know how bad it hurts to step on a Lego? If your house is literally built out of Legos, I just can't even imagine the excruciating pain you'd just constantly be experiencing. I mean, like, even if you covered the floor with, like, those smooth bricks, think about every time you bumped into a corner and just had these sharp edges just, like, jab into you. Like, no thanks. Yeah, so as much as I love Legos and as cool as it would be to live in a Lego house, no, I think that is not a great idea. I already thought about it. I even mentioned, I have video evidence that I have thought about it before. I live in a pool house, so whenever I just go for a swim, I mean, to each their own. I definitely would not care for that. I mean, I used to love swimming when I was a kid, but I kind of, as I got older, I stopped liking it and had a few experiences that made me, like, especially not really care to swim anymore. Like, the one really fun time that I got stung by a bee while I was swimming in the swimming pool. It's the only time I've ever been stung by a bee. I was in a swimming pool. Swimming. And I just can't get over that. Also, you know, there are a lot of other reasons that I don't like swimming as much as I used to, but that definitely is something that, like from a mental standpoint, is a reason why I do not like swimming as much anymore. So yeah. I also really hate swimsuits, like just deeply despise having to wear them. I just hate them. I mean, like, no. No, thank you. I mean, even when I do wear a swimsuit, I've got, like, these ones that are, like, long, like, capri-length type. They're basically just, like, waterproof leggings. And then I have, like, one of those, like, surf shirt things, so it's, like, long sleeve and whatever. But I still don't like it. I just do not care for swimsuits. Not a fan. I prefer my cute, fancy, you know. Why is this not gonna work? I just wanted to move to the view so you guys could see my cool newspaper shirt. But the other camera apparently isn't working, but it's my newspaper shirt. I'd rather wear that. Kissed by a bee. No. Not a kiss. It, done stabbed me. Like, straight up. Just, like, right into, like, it was, like, right below my knee or something. It was not fun. Oh, and also another reason I don't like swimming is because I get bloody noses while I swim a lot of the time. It is so bad. You know, you're just like swimming around, you pop out the water, and then somebody's just like, and I'm like, oh. Not fun. Not a fun way to finish up your time swimming. It's very, very awkward because you're just like, oh. Two, like, what the heck you supposed to do? You're soaking wet. Like, you know, hop out the pool, dry your face off with your towel that is now red. You now have a red towel. No more nice, cute, like, sky blue towel. It's red now. So, another reason, do not care to swim much anymore. I mean, like, I've always been prone to bloody noses, but, like, there are certain things that have, like, as I've gotten older, have become, like, bigger triggers for them, and one of them apparently is swimming. So, that's another fun thing that is why I don't care as much for Swimming. Yeah. You know what I do absolutely love though? Jet skiing. I haven't been in like forever, but I had a friend that his family went jet skiing like every week during the summer, and so while the summer that we were friends, I like went with them all the time, and it was so much fun. Jet skis are so much fun, and I hope one day I will get to ride a jet ski again, because it was so much fun. Just like across the water. Like if you get going fast enough, you feel like you're a skipping stone, because you kind of just like bounce off each little bit of water. It's so much fun. Trauma? The trauma of getting a bloody nose while swimming? Is that what trauma we're talking about? Because, not gonna lie, a little bit traumatic. I mean, like, it's just one of those situations where you're just like, how am I supposed to go about dealing with this? It's not fun. Or are we talking about the bee in the pool trauma? Because, I mean, like, just how absurd is that? Like, yes, I do, I like, Nick, I finding bees in pools is fairly regular, but most of the time, they are no longer buzzing and, you know, alive when they're in the pool. But, like, I feel like it just makes so much more sense for you to get stung by a bee, if ever, while not in water. You know? Like, I've never been stung by a bee in my entire life, other than the one time that I got stung by a bee while swimming. Like, somebody tell me that's not absurd. Like, that's just so ridiculous. One time, been stung by a bee. Trauma of taxes. Oh yes, taxes are definitely very traumatic. You know what's also traumatic? These gas prices. Every time I have to refill my tank, I'm just like, it's so bad. It's awful, and I don't know. Sometimes I'll just sit with my my fuel thing on empty for like 4 or 5 days out of spite, and also just because of the emotional pain related to going to the gas station now. It's just straight up traumatic. It's awful, and I hate it so much. Why can't the gas prices just go down? Yeah. I've been jet skiing once too. But so see, that's the nice thing, is when you jet ski, it's usually in a lake, and when you're in a lake, you have to wear a life jacket. So you can't sink. Works out pretty nicely, you know? You just, and I mean, you have to try most of the time to fall off of a jet ski. I would know, because a lot of the time, like, so apparently you have to have like some kind of permit or something to drive them, so I would always just have to ride with other people, and you know, sometimes either the person I was riding with or someone else that was riding with one of the other, you know, people with us would purposefully try to get like whoever was riding with them to fall off, and it was like legitimately hard to do. I think there was maybe one time throughout this entire summer that I went jet skiing almost every week, like one time that I ever fell off the jet ski, and I don't remember for sure, but I think the driver fell off too or something. But like, it's actually really, really hard to fall off a jet ski, as long as you know you're not like legitimately trying to fall off the jet ski. But yeah, you know, also wearing life jackets, so it's pretty fine. Plus, I mean, you know, fall as fails, it's pretty simple to just like float on your back and just, you know, boop, boop, until, you know, you can get help. But yeah. Yeah, jet skiing was so much fun. I miss that. Like, those are good times. They also had like a boat, and we went boating sometimes, and that was pretty alright, but it was not as fun as the jet skiing. Like, man, that was so much fun, but I like don't know anybody else like that I could even go with, so I just hope that maybe one day I'll end up going jet skiing again. So, I mean, I'm sure I will. I just have no idea what circumstances it will be under, because I definitely have zero intentions of ever buying myself a jet ski. I'll only go if it's somebody else's jet ski and somebody else's money for the gas. 'Cause I do remember every time we would have, every time that I would go with them, they had to like stop at the gas station beforehand to gas up the jet skis, because, you know, running out of fuel in the middle of a lake does not sound very ideal. So yeah, always were prepared in that sense. Anyways, I was gonna end like a half hour ago, so I really should wrap up because I have more TCG player orders to do before I sleep. So honestly, tonight was so much fun. I will try to stream again soon, definitely with some Astral Radiance, potentially get some Ghosts of the Past. We'll see what happens, but either way, thank you guys so much for watching. I had a very, very fun time tonight, and I hope y'all did as well. And yeah, I will see y'all next time.